Yes, welcome again, class, to our revision segment for the final year. End of year exams. We prepare, we do the best, and we cover everything. So this is an exam paper for May this year, 2024, Geography Grade 10. Musa, that when question papers are set, they are set based on various collection of previous papers. So without wasting any time, let us just go through the paper here. I'm sure that you know very well that what is it? The chapters that are in your book are like as what, and also the instructions. I'm not gonna read them for the sake of time. I'm just going to answer the questions as quick as possible, just to cut the size of the video. The layers of gas surrounding the earth, the layers of gas surrounding the earth on which all life depends on is called dash. The layer of the earth, the layer of the earth that uh of gases surrounding the layer of gas surrounding the earth on which all life depends on is called dash. What is it called? I'm sure that you know that gas that supports life is what it is, the atmosphere, which is B. Dash is an example of a permanent gas found in the atmosphere. An example of permanent gas that is found in the atmosphere, it is nitrogen, which is C. And then the process whereby the lowest parts of the atmosphere is heated by contact with the warm earth surface is known as dash. It is known as conduction. The process, it is because of conduction, which is C. uh, are we together, class? Are we together there? And then mountains are colder than lower lying areas because the dash. Mountains are colder than lower lying areas because dash, it is because the mountains, because temperature of warm air decrease with the height. I'm sure that we know the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. Temperature of warm air decrease with what? With the height. That is why the mountains are colder than lower lying areas. Next question. The amount of water vapor in the air compared to how much water vapor the air can hold is called. What is that? The amount of water vapor in the air compared to how much water vapor the air can hold. It is called relative humidity. This is called relative humidity. Cumulonimbus clouds are associated with what? Cumulonimbus clouds, they are associated with thunderstorms and lightning. They are associated with what? Sorry. They are associated with with thunderstorms, which is A. The temperature at which the condensation of water vapor takes place is known as dash. Temperature at which condensation of water vapor takes place is known as what? Dew point temperature. Okay, class, very sorry for this network disturbance, ne? But we can still continue. Then name the greenhouse gas emitted by this sector. We are saying it is what? It is carbon dioxide. And then explain how continuous emissions of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere will have negative impact to the environment. This actually continuous emissions of greenhouse gases, it will lead to global temperature increases. One, it results in global increase of temperatures, which is caused because of global warming. And then we also need to take note of the uh, plants and animals can die because of heat wave. Plants and animals, they do die due to heat wave. We can also talk about maybe even problems such as also which is caused because of high temperatures that we are talking about here. Cost of flooding, which is caused because of the high temperatures, which causes melting of ice. And then the appointment to the environment. We can also talk about droughts as well, can also happen. As examples of problems that might arise as a result of global emissions, continuous release of greenhouse gases. Suggest three strategies this sector can implement to reduce impact of greenhouse gases. We can talk about ways of reducing impact of greenhouse gases. These can come as to say matters such as one, uh, introduce an energy saving system also, and then also carbon tax, implementing carbon tax. This is carbon tax to industries, industries and companies involved in what? In manufacturing, to industries and companies in manufacturing. We can talk about also having more efficient uh, cars and vehicles in terms of what? In terms of engine combustion. This helps to reduce carbon gases. We can also talk about matters to do with promotion of use of public transport, promotion of use of public transport, use of public transport. We can as well talk about afforestation and avoiding deforestation. All measures that has to do with reduction of greenhouse gases, they are quite necessary and relevant. Even we can talk about measures to do with uh, rooftop farming or rooftop vegetation growing. You understand? So this is a type of rainfall that is shown in this diagram. We have got an ocean and then we have got our prevailing winds there. We have got our ocean and then we have got the arid there. And then we have got evaporation. All this altitude. And then this is an escarpment, which is shown there. It's an escarpment, which is shown in this regard. So let's see the questions. Let's see the questions that are coming or that follow into this regard. Uh, Identify the type of rainfall in the sketch. We call this relief rainfall. It's called relief or orographic rainfall. Next question is relief class. This is relief because it's coming from a mountainous region or a mountainous source. And then on which side of the mountain is vegetation found? On which side of the mountain is vegetation found? Vegetation is found on the what? On the windward side. It is found on the windward side, as you can see. This is vegetation. And then this other side on the leeward side, there is no what? There is no vegetation. So vegetation is found on the what? It is found on the windward side. It is found on the windward side, class. Give one reason why more vegetation will be growing on this side of the mountain. It is because the windward side of the mountain receives moist rain. It receives most rainfall. The side it receives most rainfall because the side receives most rainfall. And then briefly explain how this type of rainfall is formed. I can just quickly point out some points here. One, all moist air rises from the ocean. All moist air, it rises from the ocean. All moist air rises from the ocean. And then when it reaches the mountain, when it reaches the mountain, the mountain forces the air upwards. It is forced to rise. It is forced to rise, and then this causes the air to cool as it rises, and then condensation starts, leading to rainfall. Causing the air to cool, and clouds are formed. Clouds are formed, resulting resulting in rainfall. That is how this is happening. As you can see from the diagram there, all moist air rises and then it is forced, it actually comes from the ocean and then it rises. It is actually forced to rise as a result of the mountain. And then as it rises because of the mountain there, what happens there, clouds are formed and then rainfall is therefore taking place on the windward side. The windward side receives the more or receives the rainfall there. In paragraph of not more than 8 lines, explain negative physical impact of this type of rainfall on the side of the mountain in that side there. One, the negative effects of the rainfall. One, it can lead to soil erosion, results in soil erosion. It results in soil erosion. Two, it also results in landslides damaging the natural vegetation. It causes landslide, destroying animals and vegetation. And then we can also talk about issues to do with destruction of food chain and ecosystem. Which we can also talk about habitats destruction. We can talk about loss of biodiversity. Loss of biodiversity. These are some of the problems that would also result there, which we can give even destruction of infrastructure. They can be lost. Our roads, our buildings, infrastructure is destroyed because of this rainfall. We have got this a synoptic map, which is shown there. We have got our Wales Bay, Bulawayo, Beira, Mozambique, Maputo, Bloemfontein, Durban. All these are given their various weather reports, which are shown as a result of or indicated by various weather symbols. And then our first question is saying, what is a synoptic weather map? It's a map that offers a summary of weather conditions over a country, uh, actually over a particular period of time. It's a map that provides a summary of weather conditions. It can be weather conditions of a place or a country over a period of time. Weather conditions of a place or a country over a period of time. That's what we call a synoptic weather map. It provides a summary of weather conditions of a given place or a country over a period of time. In which season is this? I can quickly just tell you that from the symbols that and from what we are seeing there, we can actually say and fairly conclude that this is what? This is summer. And I'm gonna give the reason there to say that there is high temperatures over the interior one. They're saying high temperatures over the interior. It causes that we have got it is summer there, and then we also have low pressure. We also have low pressure that we are seeing that we have got low pressure cell over the interior of the country also. As you can see on the map, the low pressure interior of the country. And then what type of pressure cell is found at A on the synoptic weather map? What type of pressure cell is found at A on the weather map? What type of pressure cell is found at A on the weather map there? You can actually see that our contour lines, we have got 10, 16 there, 10, 12. So we are saying at A, there is high pressure here. So it is a high pressure, it is actually a high pressure cell. So it is high pressure cell at A. And then 1.5, start the weather station, what? At C on the synoptic weather map, state the cloud cover at this place there. State the cloud cover at C. I'm sure we can see where C is. The cloud cover is shown by this circle, which is shown here, which is showing what? Clear sky. I'm sure that you see that it is totally unshaded, which shows that it's totally clear sky. Cloud cover is it is actually showing clear skies. Clear skies are shown there. Let me check the next question. What is it saying? Also, it is clear skies there. It is clear skies. Maybe other questions on the same place here. It might also ask you to say give also the wind speed. I mean the wind speed. Wind speed. You are going to count to say this is 1, 2, 3 plus half. Wind speed was going to be 30. It was going to be what? Wind speed was going to be 35 knots. 35 knots there. And then we can also maybe talk about the direction which is, you can see that the direction there, it is northwesterly direction, as you can see there, northwesterly direction. All those questions, sometimes they do come. Let's just quickly rush through the paper. It is one term that describes each of the description below. Write only the term next to the question number. The same term may be used more than once in the answer. Crust mental outer core and then the inner core. So we are given that this layer is same molten layer, and 29,000 thick. I mean 2,900 kilometers thick. Which layer is that? Is semi molten and about 2,900 kilometers thick. It is the what? Semi molten and then 2,900 kilometers thick. It is the what? It is the it is the mantle. The mantle is the one that has got this characteristic, and then a very solid layer, and the depth of this layer varies between 10 to 20, I mean between 10 to 70 kilometers. It is the crust. This layer is extremely hot and solid because of extreme pressure. I'm seeing, you can see that its inner core. You can see that the inner core, the way it is red. So it is the layer that is extremely hot and solid is the what? Is the inner core. Are we there? Is the inner core. The inner core is actually the one that is extremely hot there. And then question 4, we are saying the nickel and iron is found in this layer. Nickel and iron is found on the outer layer of the earth, guys. You can say outer layer or outer core. Outer core. And then this layer is thicker under the continents and thicker under the oceans. It is what, which is thicker under the continents and thicker under the oceans. It is the what? It is the crust. It is the crusty. Continental plates drift on this layer. Number 6, the continental drifts on the what? On the mantle. This layer is mostly formed of granite rock. It is the what? The Earth's crust. I'm sure that you know that on the crust is where we found minerals and where we found rocks. Let's quickly match the columns. You match the terms in column B with the description is in column A. Write only the letter next to the corresponding question number, which is given there. So rock that has been changed by heat, pressure, or both. What is it called? The rock that is changed, that has been changed by heat, pressure, or both. Number 2.11. It is the metamorphic rock. It is the metamorphic rock, which is letter C. And then an example of igneous rock. An example of igneous rock. It is what is granite. Number 3, metamorphic rock which changes from granite. Metamorphic rocks which change from granite. It is what? It is E. Which is the what? The gneiss. Number 4, rocks which form when magma cools. The rocks that forms when magma cools. It is what? It is the igneous rocks. Number 5, rocks which form from plants and animals that were once alive. I'm sure that you know that this is caused because of what? Of sedimentary rocks. B, sedimentary rocks. Number 6, number 6, remains of plants and animals. Number 6, remains of plants and animals. It is what? The remains of plants and animals. It is the fossils, which is H. Number 7, mountains formed by compression of sedimentary rock strata during plate movement. It is what? Fold mountains. Fold mountains are formed as a compression of sedimentary rock strata during plate movements. The bottom part of a fault, is called an anticline, which is G. So those are the answers as you can see there. Let's just quickly, the breakup of the Pangaea, which is A, the Pangaea, and then we have got the Laurasia and the Gondwanaland, which is found on B, the breakup of the supercontinent. And then let's quickly answer the questions that are following. What is plate tectonics? Plate tectonics is a theory that describes the Earth's surface as consisting of what? As consisting of several plates that are slowly moving. Plate tectonics is a theory that describes the Earth's surface that describes as consisting of several plates. The Earth's surface is consisting of several plates that are slowly moving. Is what we call plate tectonic. The theory that describes the Earth's surface as consisting of several plates that are slowly moving. That is what we call plate tectonics. And then name the original landmass that existed 2 million years ago. So before everything, this was called, it was called the Pangaea. It was called the Pangaea. And then name the two land masses found in the north and south respectively when it splits. It is in the north. In the north, we have got the Laurasia. We have the Laurasia, and then on the south, we have got the Gondwanaland. This I'm just giving you like that because from me, I know them, I have done them, I have studied them, and then we know that the Earth was once a supercontinent which divided from the Pangaea, forming the Laurasia and the Gondwanaland, which you can even see from this. The north is the Laurasia, which is given there. The south is the Gondwanaland, that is given there. Before it splits, this is before, and then here it is after splitting, forming one and what? One and two. As you can see there, it is before and after, before splitting and after splitting. That is question 2.3. Name any two of the present day continents that used to be part of the South when the big landmass split. 2.3.4, we are saying name two present day continents that used to be part of this one. So we have got one. We can talk about South America. We can have South America, and then we can talk about Africa. We can also talk about Australia. We can also talk about Antarctica. And then number 2.3.5, explain four pieces of evidence to prove the theory that the continents were once joined together. There are quite a lot of points that I can just put here. Four pieces of evidence to prove that the earth was once joined together. One, there are quite a lot of points. The east coast of South America fits west coast of Africa almost perfectly at 2,000 meters below the sea level. That is one point. The east coast, of South America, it fits the west coast of Africa. The west coast of Africa almost perfectly at 2,000 meters. At 2,000 meters below the sea level. And then we can also talk about geology and fossils of Africa and South America are similar. Geology and fossils of Africa and South America are very similar. And then what can we also add there? We can as well understand that the continents fit like a puzzle. They connect well. The continents super connect. They fit together like a puzzle. Number 4, we are saying rock formation along South Africa's west coastline matches those along South America. Rock formation along South Africa's west coastline along South Africa coastline they are similar or matched those along the South America coastline. Similar or match South America coastline. So all these are showing that the Earth was once a supercontinent or was once one place that we can see, that we can maybe explain. There's maybe one last point that I can talk about in terms of uh, similar core deposits are found in the same what in the same stratigraphic. That is one other thing. Similar core deposits similar core deposits are found in the same are found. So these are some of the points that we can put with regard to this question. Pieces of evidence to prove that to prove the theory that the continents were once joined together. The superfit like a puzzle formation of rocks are similar on those of the South Africa coastline to the South America. We also have similar core deposits in some similar regions. Geology and fossils of Africa and South America are similar. Therefore, we can quickly conclude and say that there is such a thing. I'm going to just quickly answer the questions for the interest of time. Uh, what is an earthquake? What is an earthquake? What can you say? Earthquake is sometimes given as the vibration of the earth. Earthquake is just a narrative of earthquake case study about earthquake 2021. We can read monitor issues there, the effects and so forth and so forth. So we can say vibrations of the earth's crust is earthquake of the earth's crust, vibrations of the earth's crust. We can say it's earthquake. Uh, we are saying also these vibrations are sent, they are sent as what? As shock waves from the point. They are sent as they are sent as shock waves from the point in the crust. From the point in the crust where faulting or a movement may have occurred. From the point in the crust, a movement may have happened. And then where in Haiti did earthquake occur? Where in Haiti did the earthquake occur? Where in Haiti did the earthquake occur? From our, it took place at the conservation plate boundary uh, at a conservative plate boundary. Uh, where the Caribbean plate moves eastwards, where the Caribbean plate moves what? Eastwards. The Caribbean plate moves eastwards. According to the article, the focus was only 10 kilometers deep. Define the concept focus. Number 2.4.1. It is actually the point below the earth where the earthquake occurs. Point below the earth where the earthquake occurs. That is the what? That is the focus. Point below the earth where the earthquake occurs is what we call the earth, is what we call the focus. Let me see. Explain the negative impact of earthquake on people living close to the epicenter of the earthquake. We can talk about problems such as one, we can talk about high fatalities in highly populated areas, high injuries or deaths, high injuries or deaths, they can take place there. High injuries or deaths, we can talk about them. Uh, Destruction of people's houses, destruction of houses. We can also talk about destruction of infrastructure, destruction of infrastructure. Some of those problems, they also happens there, which we can talk about. Also, maybe problems to do with communication difficulties. We can talk about mudslides. We can also talk about secondary hazards such as fires that might also result there, and any other related fatalities and injuries that we might mention. They are dangers to the people living there. What strategies can Haiti implement to reduce impact of earthquakes? 2 point ways to reduce impact of we can talk about one, building safer buildings, building safer buildings. We can also talk about uh, establish establishment of evacuation routes. Evacuation routes are very important. We can also talking about having first aid stations and volunteers and nurses. Having uh, first aid stations with the volunteers and nurses. You see, let's just quickly answer the last piece. This I have shown you. We have once looked at it in the first day, volcanic eruptions and layers of ashes, side vent, and what. So the first question is, say, what is volcano? What is active volcano? Active volcano, it's a volcano that erupts on a regular basis. That erupts on a regular, that erupts on a regular basis. We call that an active volcano. And then identify the type of volcano illustrated in the sketch there. This, we call this a comb-site volcano. This is called a comb-site volcano. This whole thing is called a comb-site volcano. And then give a reason to your answer, because it has got alternating layers of lava and ash. Alternating layers of ash and lava. And then we can also have the next point is to say that it has got also steep-sided conical peak. Steep-sided conical peak that we can see on the diagram there. And then we can just answer the last piece. We saying briefly explain how the side vents of the volcano is formed. The side vents of the volcano is formed. One, what happens there is that one, volcanic soils are fed. One, the lava solidifies in the main vent. Lava solidifies in the main vent. Lava solidifies in the main vent, causing it to block. It causes it to block. And then we are saying the molten lava in the chamber finds a new exit on the side of the of the cone. The molten lava which is in the chambers. The 2 finds a new exit. It finds a new exit on the side of the what? Of the cone. And then maybe lastly, number 2.5, explain the positive economic impact of volcano for a country. You can talk about points such as 1, they also volcanic soils are fertile and allow intensive agriculture. Soils are fertile to promote intensive agriculture. You see, therefore, we can also talk about high yield leads to more exports. High yield leads to more export. That is foreign currency. And also finally talk about tourist attraction. Tourist attraction, finally, it results in creation of more jobs, creation of employment, that is very important. And then we can also talk about what springs can be used for what? For heating houses and attract tourists also. Hot springs can be used for heating houses. Such points are quite good there. Uh, I think I'm gonna just try to check this question lastly, which is basically, let me just say I'll give this one as what? What is remote sensing and advantages of remote sensing? What is remote sensing and advantages of remote sensing? Uh, I'm sure that you know that remote sensing is capturing of data from a distance using satellites or using drones. Remote sensing is capturing of data from a distance using satellites, and then advantage of remote sensing, you don't have to be you don't physically have to be around the area to study. It can also be used, you can obtain information of some areas that are inaccessible Also, other advantages is that does not disturb natural inhabitants, or people in the area are not disturbed when people are collecting data. Lastly, I can also say that it can be used to cover a large area from above the ground as advantages of remote sensing that you can also mention with that in mind. Uh, I think basically let me just say thank you for your time and all the best. We will meet again in the next presentation. And please don't forget to like your channel and also refer friends and family so then we can pass all of us. Have a good day. Thank you.